Gen Z, what is up? Gen Z, what is up? It is not a podcast, man. It is a show where we bring the most pertinent topics pertaining to Gen Z, whether that's within politics, business, or media. The idea is to help y'all be perceptive to build what? Perspective. Okay. Listen, we got a slew of topics to get to. My name is Saadiq Spears, and I'm your host. If you don't know, we are hosted on the Perspective Media Network. You can catch us on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all the platforms, all the good platforms. We are there, and we will soon be launching on Substack. On Substack. So you can catch us on there. And listen, it's about to be Christmas. Happy holidays to y'all. Y'all see I got my Christmas sweater. The show will not be next week. There will not be a show next week. That's okay though. Because we got a jam-packed episode today. So, slew of topics. First off, Netflix has signed and inked a podcasting deal, to bring a bunch of podcasts to Netflix that deals with iHeart and Barstool. One of those podcasts is going to be The Breakfast Club and Joe and Jada, which is crazy. In addition to that, Charlamagne just inked a $200 million deal with iHeart, and I think that includes some of his Black Effect podcast network as well. And I think we're going to get into that. Ebro got let go or canceled. The show got canceled on Hot 97, which is insane. We're going to talk a little bit about that and the replacement and everything that's going on within the media space in general. But listen, Oscars is also going to YouTube in 2028. And then Ohio and ICE, I'm going to talk about that. The Brown school shooter, which is insane. They just got caught today. And then the Bondi Beach Jewish shooting, which is nuts. And I got a couple of existential questions I want to answer, and also a work from home clip that's been going viral on TikTok that I do want to comment on. Okay. All right, man. How y'all doing out there? First of all, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you already know, we're about to get into it. It's going to be a fun episode. Listen, my apologies on the mic right now. We're having some mic issues, but that's okay because I always keep one on deck. Yes. All right, let's just get straight into, I guess, the Netflix deal signing with the podcast space. This is insane because I've been talking about Netflix, I feel like, for every single week for the last 4 episodes, it feels like. And they're in the news again because they have now introduced podcasts to their platform. Some of the premium podcasts that are going on to their platform is The Breakfast Club, a big morning show. And then Barstool shows are going over there. I think it's over 30 video podcasts are lined up to be hosted on Netflix in 2026. Now, I don't think these are exclusive deals. These are just licensing deals. They're just trying to get pushed out and gain as much influence as they can. I guess my questions that come from that is like, is Netflix then going to turn into more of a lifestyle app? Like, is this now going to live like a Spotify where I'm opening this up as often as I might be opening up Safari, or opening this up as often as I might be opening? You see what I'm saying? Like, podcast is a lifestyle type of medium. It's not necessarily like Netflix is being opened up for live events, or if I want to go watch TV, or if I want to go Netflix and chill, feel me? But I guess podcast is a whole different space. I also saw on Joe Budden's network is that he just did a Netflix deal, an ad on that as well. So you can see that they're paying close attention to podcasts, which is interesting because, that's coming on the toes of Spotify. It's coming on the toes of Apple, coming on the toes of Google, Anchor, a lot of different platforms, but specifically Spotify. And it's just interesting to see Netflix get into all of these different spaces. As I said in my last couple of videos, all these streamers keep talking, Warner, HBO, Paramount, all of them getting tight, but they need to innovate. And Netflix, that I've been seeing for the last couple of years, that's what they've been focused on, is innovating. So it's really cool to see that they just continue to do this. And look at the podcast that they started with. Maybe these are just the names in my head or that go around. But, like, starting with Joe and Jada, starting with The Breakfast Club, they have their finger on the pulse a little bit. At the same time as the Joe Budden ad went through, they have their finger on the pulse a little bit. Let me see if there's some other podcasts are going to be placed on there. I know if Dave Portnoy's probably. Oh, it's exclusive. Oh wow, they got Barstool's podcasts for exclusive. That's insane. Yeah, the unfiltered commentary of Barstool's podcast personalities to views worldwide. Popular podcasts like Part of My Take, the Ryan Russillo podcast, and the Spittin' Chicklets. I guess are going to have exclusive rights. Netflix is going to have those exclusive rights, which is fire. It's kind of crazy. But you see there's a lot of stuff happening within the media space. It's moving around. As I spoke before, but I'm going to get into it now, Hot 97 has let go of Ebro in the morning show with Peter Rosenberg, and I'm forgetting Laura's last name, but that's a big show in New York. That's a huge show in New York. Everybody, if you're from the city, you know about it. But if you're from out of New York in general, you know about Flex, you know about Ebro, you know about Charlemagne, you know about a lot of these names because these are hip hop kind of like gatekeepers. And to see Ebro get let go from Hot 97 is insane. Like that's insane. I think he's been there for like 13 years, and the pivot from him being at Hot 97, I moved into Apple, but he didn't stop at Hot 97. He was still there every morning. And I guess they have let him go, and Funk Flex announced that he might be on the morning show. I don't know if that's confirmed. We'll see. 1 second. We'll see if that's going to be Funk Flex, but I'm still awaiting to see who is going to be kind of the host of Hot 97. That's a huge job. That's a big role. It's a big role. And it's a day in, day out job. So a lot of that drama that was happening with Ebro during this time has been like Drake. I think he put like a hatchet sign under it, basically saying like, I don't care. I mean, I'm glad that you're getting canceled, etc. But I mean, so was Ebro hopping on that wave with Drake when Kendrick was killing him. So I think it's just friendly jousting and stuff like that. And I don't think it's nothing to be that serious about. But what's going to be interesting is about how Ebro is going to move within the space now. Like he went independent with Peter and Laura to do their own show on YouTube. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to move from, I guess, a radio host and having that corporate space and that backing. And he said a lot of the reasons that they came into problems and might have why it got canceled was because of how political Ebro has gotten. I know Ebro now on Instagram as one of like my main not sources, but main. When I'm swiping on my algorithm, he comes up often for the political commentators. So he says that might have been a reason as to why he's gotten canceled. I don't know if that's the reason. There's a slew of different reasons that it could be. I know that they're just doing a huge amount of shakeups within radio, but also media right now. And sometimes, 13 years is a long time. You might just get canceled off of that. Whether or not the shows were doing good, whether or not people felt good about you within the building. I know that they say that the building was going into depths and being trash or whatever. As in, like, there's a lot of hopelessness going around, roaches, etc. I know how the NYC buildings get. It can get crazy. But overall, I think he should be able to land on his feet. I mean, he still works at Apple. He still does all these different things. I'm just interested to see who's going to fill that role, ultimately. And with Charlemagne kind of being inked into an iHeart deal, $200 million. First of all, that's insane. Let's go. If I had clapped it up, music, I'd clap it up right now. That's insane. 200 mil? That's like that's a Joe Rogan deal. Even though it's 5 years, that's a Joe Rogan deal. So to be similar in that vein is extreme kudos to Charlemagne, and him having the Black Effect Network is just amazing. I mean, they host a slew of different great podcasts like the 85 South Show, and I'm pretty sure Native Land might be on the Black Effect Network. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, it is a part of the Black Effect Network. So yeah, they're doing a lot. Charlemagne's doing a lot, and I'm loving to see this, man. Look at our people we got, bro. Joe Biden going crazy, Charlemagne going crazy. Look, we got one on the corporate side, one on the independent side. This is as a media student turned professional, now a broadcaster. Man, do we have greats right now that are doing amazing things in the space. One on the independent side and one on the corporate side. That's fire. That's fire. And I'm just glad to be a part of that because I can't wait. I can't wait. Y'all wait till y'all see my time. Wait till y'all see what I do with it. So just good on to the space just continuing to progress. Joe Budden had an insane year. Charlemagne's ending off the year crazy. I'm loving what's going on in the fourth quarter right now. I'm loving what's going on in general. So yeah. Now they're saying that the Oscars is going to YouTube streaming rights. As y'all can see, man, these streamers are getting bigger and bigger. YouTube is Google, of course, and Oscars is being hosted on the ABC up until, I believe, 2028 or 2029, and that's when those rights are getting transferred over. I thought this was a way bigger story until I read that it was 2028, 2029, which is how they be doing them far deals out anyway. But all y'all need to know is that legacy media is really continuing to die. Like, the more that we progress in society, the more that you'll see that all of these different legacy, when I say legacy media, I'm talking about like ABC, CBS, all that stuff. Like, but those legacy shows like Grammys, Oscars, etc., they're going to be getting platformed to where people's eyeballs are. And if their eyeballs are on Netflix and it's on Amazon and it's on Paramount, they're going to have to adjust to that, or YouTube. And they're going to have to adjust to that, and that's what the Oscars is doing right now by moving to YouTube instead of signing again with ABC. Yeah, man. So that's a little bit of what we got going on within media. How's y'all weeks going, man? Go ahead, hit the like, comment down below what you're going through, what you feeling, what you liking, what you've been seeing out in the news. Because, you know, this is supposed to be a back and forth. I've been reaching out to a lot of people just to get some feedback on the show because we've been doing pretty good numbers, you know, averaging a little bit, you know, 100 to 200 people on the check-in per episode. So I've been loving it. But I want to get some feedback as well about how the show's been going, which topics y'all want me to talk about, how you want me to segment it up. I've been getting a lot of feedback that the topics just flowing how it is instead of trying to segment is doing well. But you let me know. You let me know what you think. But I've been liking it like this. Okay. So I got hit up. Somebody told me, they said, listen. Well, a friend of mine said, listen, there's a lot of ICE raids that's going on within Ohio, and there's a lot of people organizing and talking about it, and maybe if you could look into it if you find something. So I didn't find nothing out of the ordinary other than ICE is looking to go into shopping centers, housing, malls, schools, etc., which is just typically not how deportations was done in this country. To go into hospitals, to go into places where it's supposed to be kind of like safe zones, and places where you don't want to traumatize kids and traumatize families. And that's exactly what they're doing. And I've been seeing a slew of videos hit my timeline of ICE agents wearing masks, not asking questions, strictly going up to people that are brown, throw them against something and start trying to arrest them. And the fact that it's just been decriminalized for a lot of law enforcement to be able to go, and it's more of like stop and frisk, being able to go off of their appearance to be able to profile somebody and say, hey, this person might be undocumented, is just ridiculous. And I was reading this piece from Austin Kocher, it reads, ICE descends on Columbus, Ohio, hits K-12 schools and immigrant neighborhoods, which was posted December 19th. This is posted today. And it was just a great read that I'm going to include down below. But I'll just read a little paragraph. A loud, online, and radicalized minority of the country is undoubtedly gleeful over ICE's arrest bombing of various cities. But a growing number of Americans are having a hard time squaring the Trump administration's claims online that they're going after the worst of the worst, with the reality that ICE is circling schools and shopping centers to look for people whose only observable immigration infraction is that they aren't white. That was a piece from Austin Kocher. And this has been the growing conversation that's happening regarding ICE and their deployments in all these different cities, right? Last time I spoke about them, they were in North Carolina. Now, and then they were heading to New Orleans the next week, and now they're in Columbus, Ohio. How much of this is costing that American taxpayer? How much of this is costing the American taxpayer? There's no way that I'm seeing caravans of 15 ICE agents in one van, everybody moving around, and they're doing this from city to city, and they're all getting paid over $80K to do so. There's no way that this is costing us, or there's no way that these mass deportations are going to be a benefit for us in the long run. There's no way. It sounds like this is putting a lot of cost, and they continue to bolster up the defense budget, but it's really the war budget. And it's continuously just showing what type of country we are. A militant country. The stuff that you see in Venezuela, a militant country. The stuff that you see on our own citizens and Americans and undocumented immigrants here, militant. And Americans are starting to wake up a lot to this, because you're taking away their friends and family. You're taking away friends and family. That's just it's just sad. And the amount of people that they've gotten wrongly detained, wrongly deported, there's going to be people that's going to have to answer for that. And it feels like I'm a broken record when I'm talking about ICE. It feels like I'm a broken record when I'm talking about anything political at this moment because they're doing a full court blitz on us. There's so much stuff that's coming through the woodworks every day that it just feels like you drink it through a garden hose. It does. It does. And luckily I'm here to break it down and speak about this on a week-to-week basis, but I don't want us to get discouraged by the garden hose tactic because it is a tactic. There's full court blitz that happened in 1 year. People are going to have to pay for this. And it's not just going to be the left taxpayers and stuff like that. Nah, like we're going to have to have a reconciliation period for our country. I don't know what it's going to look like when Trump is gone, but damn, man, like, and we don't even have money to give for reparations. $37 trillion in debt, and it continues to add, and this is what we're spending on, is beefing up the defense and the war budget to go attack Venezuela and then go attack our own citizens and our own people within America. But we have $37 trillion of debt. I thought he was going to attack that. And then they talk about you got the military people. Man, don't piss me off. Do not piss me off, military people. Listen, I got my military veterans talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna get $1,700. Oh yeah, he's gonna give us a good stipend. That $1,700 was already accounted for. It was never a dividend. It was never a war check. It was already accounted for. It's going to be in your housing budget. They were supposed to give y'all that regardless. This was no warrior dividend. They rebranded it, of course, because that's what they do, man. They good marketers. That's what they do. Look at the White House Twitter. That's what they do. But that warrior dividend was never a warrior dividend that he just decided to give y'all. No, that was already accounted in the housing budget for y'all. Military people were going to get that regardless. Please stop getting bent up. I be seeing y'all in the Say Cheese comments being like, oh, that was a good idea. Oh, that was a good idea. He made Christmas. I think he made Christmas and the Christmas Eve a federal holiday. You got people in Say Cheese comments. Oh, wow, that's a W. Oh, sometimes I forgot we idiots on the internet. Sometimes I forgot about that. Please stop getting misled. It's that simple. Stop getting misled. Go do a couple of readings. Hey, go follow you some good news sources. I'm here. Don't worry. But that warrior dividend check was never no warrior dividend check. No. And that's the least they could do. First of all, that's the least they could do after trying to take away money during the federal government shutdown and not pay military people. So I'm glad that they're giving their $1,700 check, but that was always coming. So don't get safe within that. Where we at with it? Okay, Lou. We doing good on time. Let me slow down. Listen. Happy holidays to y'all, of course. I haven't even done Christmas shopping yet, y'all. It is December 19th. I'm so cooked. I haven't done Christmas shopping yet. I'll probably have to do it this weekend. And it's going to be hell. I already know. It's going to be hell. Y'all ain't got to tell me. Did y'all do Christmas shopping yet? I hope y'all did, man. I hope y'all did. And I got a lot of stuff to buy, too. Man. Somebody put some prayers in the chat for me. Because I'm going to have to go to whatever malls to try to figure something out tomorrow. Tomorrow being Saturday. But how y'all spending y'all holidays, man? If you don't celebrate Christmas, man, maybe you celebrating Kwanzaa. Hey, shout out to my peoples, man. And if you Jewish listening to this, man, shout out to Happy Hanukkah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the Brown school shooter. So early this week, there was a school shooter on Brown University's campus. If you don't know Brown University, it's in Providence, I think Rhode Island. And it is an Ivy League school. A lot of people didn't know that Brown was an Ivy League school. I don't know why that would matter in this situation, but I guess it matters because this now hits close to home for a lot of other wealthy people. That's typically who get into Ivy League schools. And yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts regarding this. First off, I am a college graduate, graduated in May. So I empathize with this as a student because we've had threats, but threats actually turning into a gunman is terrifying. And to think that this was during final season and I think it was during a review session. The people that died was, I think, in a review session. Don't quote me on that, but that's sickening. That's sickening. And I just can't think about a school shooting happening on a college campus, and then also your president is texting saying or tweeting out saying it's all good, everybody come outside. I'm gonna take y'all through the psyche of a college student during that time, especially because college students. How many students is at Brown University? Okay. Oh wow, small. Oh, for fall 24, they have enrollment of 12,000 students. Right? I think about this like if a president, let's say you in a lock-in place and there's an active shooter somewhere, right? Everybody has their phone access. They might be in their dorms. They might be in some classrooms, etc. And there's an active shooter on campus. And your president tweets out, "Hey, it's fine. Everybody come outside." When the active shooter is still out on the loose, I want y'all to think how many people could have been endangered in that situation. Because you have a president acting like a news outlet like TMZ, waiting for the story to drop so you could be able to say that you have the solution for something. He could have endangered a bunch of students' lives in that moment. Because I know a lot of students are probably looking through their emails and stuff like that, waiting for Brown to make a comment. But if you see the president of the United States drop something, I mind you, I want y'all to think of the psyche of a college student in this. They're on social media because they're trying to look for updates that's happening on their campus. So if Trump, while Brown is going viral at the moment, if Trump tweets and says, "Hey, y'all, it's good for y'all to come outside," what do you think college students are going to do? They're going to think it's fine. They're going to think it's fine because that's what they're looking for. They're waiting on an alert from social media or something. They're on Instagram, they're on Twitter, etc. And now this is national news. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. And we have, I'm going to get into gun laws and gun conversations soon. But it's irresponsible for a president to go make that statement trying to jump the gun and could have endangered a slew of other students. And I empathize with this as a recent grad. Who knows how many students came out of their shelter in place because of that? Why do we have a president with Twitter fingers? So quick to comment on something. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and my heart goes out with the two dead students, and then the 9 that were injured on that campus. And thankfully, they just caught the guy. And they said the guy was dead in a storage facility, I think in New Hampshire or somewhere. So yeah, thankfully that they caught the guy and everything like that. But we have a real issue of gun violence in this country. Mass shootings in this country. School shootings in this country. We have more mass shootings than days in this country. We have more guns than people in this country. And I'm going to keep saying this because it is not going to stop until we have some type of regulation. I'm sorry. All the mental health programs that y'all want to put in, all the background checks that y'all want to put in is going to be a 3 to a 10-year process of trying to fix the psyche of a lot of young people and a lot of people in our country right now to make sure that they don't shoot up something. But until then, there needs to have some type of regulation on these guns. Because it doesn't make sense. You want to put some more intense background checks? Okay, cool. I can tell you right now, I think a lot of people that are capable of shooting a gun and shooting multiple people can pass many background checks. Especially an 18-year-old. Especially a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old. Doesn't have any history of anything crazy. Yeah. And I think a lot of 20, 21, anybody can rationalize death. Which is terrifying. which is why you got to take the weapon out of that person that could rationalize like that out of their hands. Or limit it. Maybe not assault rifles. Maybe not high magazines. I don't know. But there needs to be some type of regulation because this is disgusting. This keeps happening and it's ramping up. It's not going to stop. So my question to people that love guns, what is the threshold of deaths, of school shootings, of mass shootings until you see that it's enough time that we need to put some type of regulation in? And I'm not talking background checks. While we're on the topic of guns, I did want to talk about the mass shooting that happened in Australia. Prayers in my heart goes out to the families that was affected. I think it was 15 people killed in that anti-Semitic attack during Hanukkah, which is terrible because obviously it's during the holiday season. And I think a 10-year-old girl was affected, 2 rabbis and a Holocaust survivor. Like, I'm tired of seeing this type of pain in the world. I saw a video right after it happened of I think it was a fruit shop worker, and a Muslim dude went and tackled one of the shooters, which is insanely brave, and I think he might have gotten shot by the other shooter. Because there's 2 shooters attacking this I believe Hanukkah celebration or a party that they were having, and it's just terrible. It's sad, and I'm just tired of seeing this in the news. I'll read a little bit of a Reuters article that spoke about how the government is reacting towards it. The paragraph reads, on Friday, Albanese said that his government plans to limit the number of guns an individual can own and the types of guns that are legal, implement a national firearms register, expand background checks using intelligence data, periodically review licenses, and require Australian citizenship for gun ownership. He also says the government will buy back surplus and newly banned firearms from individuals, which he expected would take hundreds of thousands of weapons out of circulation. That sounds like a government that is fed up, that is tired of seeing something like that. Sounds like a government that is looking to do some type of reform after seeing a mass shooting. And I wish our government or our politicians had a little bit more of that fight. I understand a lot of people want to be able to protect themselves, but nothing in that paragraph sounded like he was taking away complete guns or their government was looking to take away the ability for their people to protect themselves. He said plans to limit the number of guns an individual can own. I love that. The type of guns that are legal, implement a national firearms register, expand background checks using intelligence data, smarter, use Palantir for good. How about we start using Palantir for good? How about they do some intense background checks for the gun ownership within this country? That'd be smart. Check those social media accounts for a fact. Periodically review licenses and require Australian citizenship for gun ownership. I do like that. Because I guess my favorite part of that is limiting the number of guns an individual can own. I do want to keep saying this because a lot of people like to use the comments of, hey, like, what am I doing? I'm just exercising my right. Bro, if Timmy has 7 guns in his basement and they're all walled up, got mags around, that's a weird individual. Let me tell y'all something. That's a weird individual. I be seeing Act post up his whole artillery when he be going online and stuff like that. That's a weird individual. Anybody that has an obsession with guns, anybody that has an obsession with death machines, but you never been in the field, you never been in the military, you never did nothing of this, but you got an artillery of guns? I don't know. And then half these guys gonna claim that they Christian. I thought it's live by the sword, die by the sword. That's how I live. So I don't subscribe to that. And limiting the number of guns that an individual can own, I rock with that. Because I feel like the more guns that you might have, the more that you idolize it. The more that you might infantilize somebody coming into your home so you can do them doing a B&E so you can shoot them up in a home invasion, which is statistically not going to happen. That's the only reason that you could have multiple guns laying around, artillery of guns, of ARs and stuff. Sorry, you can't convince me, bro. That's corny. That's corny. Timmy should not have 7 guns on the walls right now so he can show his friends and they can come in and he can raise his kid up around those 7 guns and stuff like that to teach him gun ownership and gun safety. To do what? You don't hunt with 7 guns. You don't hunt with 7 ARs. To do what? What are you doing with them? Yeah, they be having a gun collection and it be acting like, oh yeah, this. You look at this. Look at my Chinas. Those are not Chinas, buddy. Those are not plates. Those are death machines. You can't convince me otherwise. Okay. Sorry, y'all got my rant on these gun stuff. Like, I can't. I have friends. That are like, yo, why are you so against guns? Why do you? It's America's culture. It's not the guns that kill people. It's people that kill people. Bro, I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't grow up around it. Call me whatever. Call me whatever. I don't care. I don't think that young men, young boys, young people should be idolizing death machines. I think they got it all wrong. They be saying it's a part of America's culture. Back in 1776 and 1800, they never seen a switch. They never seen a switch printed on a 3D printer. Let me tell y'all something. I operate 3D printers. Why? If I go on Thingiverse, the first thing right there is a Glock switch. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can't convince me. It's crazy. And I don't rock with it. And I understand people might say, hey, like that's America's draw, but you know, let that be reserved for handguns then. maybe it's my New York bias. Sorry. Okay. Okay. We got through those. Oh, I hope y'all doing good out there, man. Of course, give me some feedback, y'all. If y'all enjoying the episode, if y'all are not enjoying the episode, there's some problems that you want me to go ahead and put them in the comments. But listen, I got this work from home clip that I want to get into before I start talking a little bit about data center dropouts, etc. Let me pull up the clip. Okay. Yo, if y'all don't follow my Instagram, make sure y'all go follow my Instagram, Saadiq.ranks, because I be putting I'll be dropping my clips and I'll be saying real stuff, of course. Okay. Clip is coming up. So to introduce this clip, I saw this on TikTok. I saw this on Instagram. It's been going a little bit viral, and people are talking about whether or not Gen Z would answer. What Gen Z would answer. I just played the clip.
On TikTok right now, big debate. A girl was deciding between a job that was remote that paid $120,000 a year and a job that required you to go into the office that paid $240,000 a year. And this girl, along with many of the people her age, thought that their response was the most obvious response to this question. And that is the $120,000 a year for a remote job.
What's the logic behind that?
The kids are afraid of going into the office. They hate the idea of being forced to socialize, to go to an office. They've come up with their list.
All right. Okay. Let me talk about this. I guess I'm a reserved kid to talk about this. But I don't agree with the kids. Now, I understand. Listen, a remote job allows you some type of affordances. You know, it gives you a lot of freedom. It allows you to be able to move how you want to. Now, if you have the good discipline, then it makes sense. I understand you. Maybe at home you're making $120,000 from this job, but maybe you're pulling out $240 because you're also trading and you're also doing some other stuff while you're doing work. But let me tell y'all something. 95% of that is not you. 95% of what I just said is not going to be the work from home person, not the young person. Nah. Their productivity is cut down by 50%. They waking up, getting on a meeting, sending a couple of emails. They had to go to breakfast. Okay, now what does breakfast look like? I want y'all to think about this, right? In office, you might do breakfast. You might skip breakfast. When it comes to lunch, you might go out to go get lunch and buy lunch, or you might have a prepared, packed lunch. When it comes to work from home, man, it's not the same. Work from home, you're not meal prepping. You're thinking, okay, I'm gonna need to get lunch. I'm gonna have to make lunch. Same thing when it comes to breakfast. I'm gonna have to make lunch. You're doubling that time. What breakfast would have took you at the office 15 minutes is now taking you 30 minutes because you had to prepare, maybe wash those dishes. Same thing when it comes to lunch. You're not making a regular no ham and sandwich. Maybe you might make a grilled cheese that you got to put on the pan. That matters. I'm telling you this from a work from home person. In addition to that, the laziness that creeps in, the TV that creeps in. Let me tell y'all who I am, man. I'm working at the desk. I'm working. I'm a disciplined guy. I mean, you see the show coming out, and I work. I'm doing my work. I'm at the desk. What do I look? I look to my left. My bed's right there. My bed's right there. What does my mind say? Yo, just do the work in the bed. You'll be all right. Just sit up straight. Okay, I'm sitting up straight, do my work in bed. Gone for an hour. And these are the stories and work from home that can get a problem. You see what I'm saying? These could be problematic. Listen, in addition to that, right? Let's just not talk about the laziness that creeps in and also the distraction to your phone and the distraction to TV, etc. The social interaction that you don't have when you're at home is detrimental. It's detrimental. Of course, you might be forced to socialize within the office space, and you could be an introvert in the office space as well. Don't get it twisted. But you not getting outside to go do something, you not going up and showering and make sure that you're presentable and being ready for somebody or being ready to speak to people is a detriment to you. We are social beings, man. For some of y'all forget that we're animals. We need that interaction. I need that interaction. So as somebody that's working from home, I'm telling you right now, man, I'm taking that $240,000 job. It makes sense. Unless I'm making a lot more than that from my work from home job, it doesn't make sense to take that $120,000. I understand peace. You can have peace in the workplace. I think a best schedule is a hybrid schedule, right? But please, people, do not let these workplaces and offices and jobs trick you out of an office space. If you at home, you're still paying utilities. Come on. You're paying utilities. You're probably paying more for food. You're paying a lot more than you think by being at home in the comfortable of your home abode. It don't matter. It don't matter. Maybe at the office, you would have had an office party. Maybe they did Wednesdays, they catered lunch. Maybe you just like the commute of going back and forth. That does a lot for the brain. It helps you. So when these businesses say, hey, matter of fact, this would be terrible. Businesses say, hey, matter of fact, we're going to take away our office space, which is happening to a lot of media agencies. Come on. Take away the office space. You just work from home. Now you don't have a choice. Right? That's scary. Don't be in that position. Because work from home, people act like you have that discipline. A lot of people don't have the discipline. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to hit some yoga, I'm going to hit the gym, then I'm going to come back and do all this, and you woke up late for that next meeting, so now you got to hit that meeting. You send a couple of emails a day, and now you feel like you're actually doing something. Don't let you have a vice. Don't let you have a vice. If you a vape smoker, man, you hitting that vape 30 more times than you would have. If you do anything else, I'm not going to get into it, but if you do that, you're doing that 2 times more times than you would have been doing at home. I mean, in the office. You're on your phone 10 times more often than you would be doing it at the office because you have a boss looking at you. That matters. That matters. So don't trick yourself out of some good structure. That's all I'm saying. Don't trick yourself out of some good structure thinking that your home is going to be the better option for you. It's not. And it's not often for us. It's not often for us. Now, if you're a disciplined person, don't let me trick you out of that. If you disciplined, you waking up, you doing yoga, etc., then you're doing your little 3-4 hour a time, you getting your work done, etc., at your desk, you're doing whatever, and it makes sense for you, okay, go for it. I think that's peace. But I think a lot of people forget the peace that you get by having group and social interactions on the day-to-day at the workplace. That's all I'm saying. I'm an advocate for a hybrid work schedule. I'm an advocate. So yeah, I thought that was a cute little calm TikTok. That was funny. It just made me think because man, I saw this funny work from home video. Maybe I could put it up if I remember. But a funny work from home video that was just like sending 3 emails, and it's like being groggy, and it's like, bro, I don't think a lot of people realize how your mind becomes compressed when you're in a building for hours. And when you go to sleep in that building, wake up in that building, do work in that building, and then now at 4 o'clock, you got to go outside to make sure that you get some sun, and then the sun is there for an hour, then work from home jobs be a scam. Then work from home jobs be a scam. Do not get tricked out of discipline and structure and maybe catered lunch on Wednesdays. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes I work from home be a scam, bro. They be like, oh, yeah, no, don't come to office. So you don't have to pay office fees. Don't come to office. Don't come. We're good, man. Actually, we're just going to go fully remote. Man. And they didn't give you no remote package. They didn't send you no computers. They didn't send you no nothing. You just working on that dingy laptop. Don't get tricked out of your position. Okay. Man, what else? I love that. I love that little story. I got a couple of existential questions that I want to get to. Let me talk about markets. Markets is choppy. Obviously, December time. People don't know whether or not we're going to get this December rally. I know I'm speaking vaguely about it, but that's because the market is just vague right now. There's not a lot of news that's going around. There's been conversations about data centers, like the data center. Or let me look up the article to make sure. So the U.S. tech sector was under pressure on Wednesday as traders took in a report from the Financial Times that said Blue Owl Capital wouldn't back a $10 billion data center that company was planning to build in Michigan for OpenAI. So you can see Oracle shares slid 6%. NASDAQ's been sliding. It's been choppy. It's been back and forth. Excuse me. It's been choppy. It's been back and forth. We don't know whether or not this is going to be a domino effect where a bunch of companies are now pulling out of AI in general. That could be a factor. May not know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that this bubble is becoming increasingly overvalued and increasingly oversaturated. And now, at this point, they're looking for a time to liquidate. That's what I think is going on within the markets. But that's just my little take right now going into, I guess, the end of December, which is insane. You know, like, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah. But I think we'll be fine. Markets is fine. We'll see, I think, an actual uptick start in January, February, March, heading up until Jerome Powell's exit. And yeah. But I think it's nothing's going on that's like really that crazy in the markets. So let me get into my existential questions. Give me 1 second. We got one. Do you think our generation still believes systems can be fixed, or are we mostly trying to learn how to survive inside systems we don't trust? I love this question. I think I'm going to repeat the question one more time. Do you think our generation still believes systems can be fixed, or are we mostly trying to learn how to survive inside systems we don't trust? I think as you're younger, you reach a level of consciousness of like, damn, a lot of these systems are broken. Damn, a lot of these systems need to be fixed. And there's going to be society, people, family, friends that's like, that's just the world. Deal with it. We all deal with it because we got to make a dollar and feed our families, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's a cop-out. I think we should be aiming to fix the systems that we're in, especially as young as we are. Now, older people, if they want to fight the good fight, go for it. If they don't want to, they don't have to. I don't know. They had to live through a lot of BS. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm 20, 21, 22, 23, under 30, man, what else are you doing? Right? Like, if we're not fixing the systems that are broken, man, like, what are you doing for the next generation? What are you doing for your kids? Right? Like, if you're going to have kids in this generation and you're not looking to fix any system, then don't have kids. Because you're not progressing anything. Right? And to answer the question, I think we're mostly trying to learn how to survive in systems we don't trust. Right? But I do think that there's going to be players in every generation that are looking to fix those systems, destroy those systems, or try to rework it, reform it. And I'm one of those people that I think that we can reform. We destroy a system sometimes. sometimes the outcome is not better. Let's get that straight. Sometimes when you destroy a system, the outcome is not better. I'm looking to reform in different ways. I think capitalism has huge problems. Like, I think as a system in general, it's a huge problem because obviously we have major greed taking over, right? But if capitalism had some type of socialist policies that underwrite it, so it's like 60% capitalism, 40% socialism, as in we have some basic necessities covered, right? So everybody is starting on a decent playing field. Of course, there's going to be some type of advantages, but so we can all still play the game of, hey, I want to be able to own a business. Hey, I want to be able to take on debt, which is what capitalism is. Being able to make businesses and take on debt, etc. Like that level of trade, I think, is a good system. It just hasn't been placed in America. Well, why? Because the start of America was slavery. I think we can reform that. And I think we can fix those systems. But the people that say that's just how it is, if you don't like it, move. You're an idiot, buddy. You're an idiot because you're probably getting sold out same way that I'm getting sold out, same way that most people are getting sold out that are not in the 1% of wealth, and these systems are failing us and are benefiting them. So I think our generation still believes that systems can be fixed because I'm one of them. So I would hope not. I would hope that we didn't lose that type of hope. I would hope that we continue to fight the good fight of trying to dismantle a system that's broken and then reform, but not destroy. Okay. But hey, destroying a system that destroys you, I also have no problem with that. So let me make that clear as well. I also have no problem with destroying a system that destroys you, and you can't be mad at that. So keep that in mind. Okay. Second question. At what point does lifestyle inflation quietly destroy long-term wealth, and why? And how do you spot it early? Lifestyle inflation, the way that I'm interpreting that phrase is like, I'm growing up, I want to buy nicer things. I might be getting paid more, so I'm looking to buy nicer things, etc. I think you can spot it early when you're spending the money before you get it, right? Like it's being an entrepreneur now where I'm getting invoiced or I'm invoicing at the end of the month is different than getting paid every 2 weeks, right? I have to account for money differently. I have to think about money differently because, yes, money might be coming out on the 1st and the 19th and the 16th, but I get paid the 30th, right? That matters. And the way that I'm moving money is that I cannot spend what I don't have yet. In my mind, I have to think, all right, I always have to plan for the next month because let's say the next month that I get paid or I don't get paid or it gets delayed, I might get messed up. I want people to start thinking like, yo, before I even make this purchase, can I buy this multiple times? Before I even make this purchase, is this going to benefit me in the long run? When I made the $4,000 purchase back in my sophomore or junior year of college buying my camera, I always knew the aspect of my camera, I would be able to make some type of money from it later down the road. But that $4,000 purchase in that moment was purely for me. I wanted to buy a new camera. I wanted to be able to travel with it. I wanted a better autofocus. And my dad was like, that's a dumb idea. Why don't you use the camera you got? And now I'm using both cameras to film this show. Right? So there's times where lifestyle choices when you're ramping up can make sense. But at the same time, buying an Infiniti, buying a Lexus, buying that nice Honda Civic 2025 might not be the lifestyle choice you want to make. You see what I'm saying? Like, taking on debt to do a lifestyle choice never makes sense. Taking on debt for a business decision makes sense. Buying stuff that's going to improve the dopamine, make you feel good, I think is always good. Like, that's something that my girlfriend taught me, was being able to not splurge, but spend what you've earned to make yourself feel good. Now, that feel-good purchase doesn't have to maybe look like a $1,000 phone. Maybe it looks like a nice Christmas sweater that you've been waiting on doing. Maybe it looks like the MacBook you've been saving up for, and yes, I'm going to use this for some utility and stuff like that, but I've saved up a good pretty penny for this, and I could buy this a couple of times, so this is a good lifestyle decision. That's it. I see a lot of people, I see a lot of my college students, my college people, right now taking trips, right? Taking trips all different places. Listen, I was a kid, I was taking trips during college as well. So do what you can, especially now that you have the time. I also don't want y'all to mess up the time that you do have by trying to chase something right now when you could be building for the future. A lot of people say college is going to be the best time of your life. College, I know, is not going to be the best time of my life. Why? Because I'm going to have an amazing life. Why? Because I prepare for it. Because I prepare for it. I've been preparing for it since college, since before college, right? So when I think about that type of stuff, don't fold your hand before the river continues to play. You see what I'm saying? Like, be careful on betting on the future and not preparing for it. Making lifestyle decisions in the present that's going to affect your future and not preparing for the future. Anything that y'all see me buy or I'm ramping up or you might see me splurge a little bit, just know that I was already thinking about that for months prior and I've already financed it in my mind. Sometimes you gotta finance it in different ways. Okay. Oh, I wanted to make let's say the trip I'm about to do. Man, the last couple of trips I've been on have been straight JetBlue and Amex points. One day I'm gonna tell y'all that story. When I got a little more time. But Amex Blue and JetBlue and Amex points. That's how a lot of I travel. Why? Because I made big purchases on a travel card that gave me travel bonus points, and I took those bonus points, held them, and been able to travel off that. My girlfriend's also been able to travel off that. That's me being able to use big purchases like my camera, etc. Take that and go be able to travel with it. But now I'm using my camera. I'm traveling at the same time. I'm making content. It's a lot of utility within the space. Make those type of lifestyle decisions, not just going to buy the Scat Pack, going to buy the new Xbox, the new game every single time. You know, put some utility behind it. Even if it's fun, maybe you could add some utility behind it. Or if not, to make sure that you could buy it a couple of times. Yeah. That is how I feel. Or what destroys long-term wealth for Gen Z or destroys long-term wealth that would set you back heavy is huge debt decisions and huge lifestyle decisions where you shouldn't have been doing that, where you got to ask yourself, can I make this purchase multiple times? Simple. I hope I'm not losing y'all. I got last existential question that I'm gonna get out of here. Again, I told y'all next year or next week I won't be here because it's holiday season and I got a plan for the next year. Okay, last question. What's the biggest financial... Slow it down, Saadiq, slow it down. What's the biggest financial mistake Gen Z makes when trying to get ahead too fast? Damn, I feel like I just answered that. I guess to provide a different answer, moving too fast. Yes, I know. Maybe it's a cop-out. Yeah, I feel like it's a cop-out. Give me a second. I know y'all may feel like it's a cop-out. I don't think it's a cop-out. Moving too fast, getting ahead of yourself, not being patient. Man, I just lost about $7,000 in the market in the last couple of months. And I've done well this year, so don't get it twisted. But I lost $7,000 in the market the last 2 months because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't being patient. It was a good trade overall. It just didn't go my way. But I was just getting ahead of myself. I was having a great year. Sometimes you got to be able to cut your losses early. Sometimes you got to be able to recognize when you may be thinking about something a little bit too fast, or you might be rushing into something a little bit too fast when you need to take your second and think about it. Stuff takes time, right? Like, I think about this show. Like, this show has so much optionality and potentiality to get picked up or to do so many different things. And I'm telling you right now, I'm playing the long game in this show. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I know it's going to take time. Listen, my friends tell me about doing some bot farms. I'm playing the long game. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. And sometimes you be trying to rush the process, rush the journey. The journey is the journey. You rush the process too much and you become depressed. become depressed. You only focused on the goal. And that's not the goal. The goal is to enjoy life and enjoy your time. And although I'm right now, it feels like I'm floating, but I'm not where I want to be. And I just have to keep telling myself, one day at a time, one foot after the other, one step at a time. Because what you want is timeless. What I want is timeless. So it's hard to try to put a time frame on it. It's hard to try to be like, let me rush this shit up, because it can't be rushed, man. Sometimes this is just divine timing. Sometimes it really is just divine timing. And I don't want Gen Z to get ahead of themselves, because sometimes it's like, yo, you have to go through the bumps. You have to go through the rough patches. And I'm talking to Gen Z right now. I mean, we're only young. It's only going to get somewhat harder. Some of us has kids. Some of us don't have kids. It's only going to get harder. So to be able to start dealing with it in better ways and not rushing ourselves and being okay. God damn, all my cameras is fucking dying. So don't rush the process, Gen Z. And if I'm speaking to other generations as well, shout out my boomers, shout out my millennials. Don't rush your process. It is the journey. It is the path. It is what makes us human. It makes us lovable. We make mistakes. We rush things. We move too quickly. But the journey of life is why we're here. The journey of me going through the rough patches where I'm recording at 6:45 on a Friday night and I gotta edit it up before I go see my girlfriend, etc. Man, that's the journey. That's the journey. And I know a lot of people don't see it like this because they see the glamorized, full package, finished package for everything. But Gen Z, don't rush your process. It's that simple. Don't rush your process. Now, my camera's about to die. I love y'all. I will see y'all in 2 weeks. I hope y'all have a great holidays. Protect yourselves, protect your energy, protect your love, man. Protect your family. Keep people close in your prayers. If you see any houseless people, man, go give them $1, give them a couple of dollars. It is tough out there. It's cold. If you can provide meals, etc., help people that you see that are in need of help. Don't just think, oh, what are they going to do with this, man? What are you going to do with it? And that's if you can, of course. Love y'all. Saadiq, Gen Z, what's good? Boomers, what's up? Millennials, what's up, man? If I don't see y'all by next year, hope y'all have a lovely year, man. Hope y'all have a great new year. Love y'all. Gen Z, what's up? I'll see y'all next time. It's not a podcast, man. It is a show. Don't forget that. And no lying, here. Listen real quick. Breaking news, they said that they just released the Epstein files. They're looking through all the photos. There's so many photos that's actually redacted. Multiple black squares on multiple pictures. And the only picture that got really released was a picture with Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, Lord. And then Bill Clinton with some other underage girls that got redacted and stuff like that. No images of Trump. Barely any other images in general regarding the administration, which is crazy because honestly we knew it was going to be a cover-up, but why that blatant? So many black squares over multiple pages and multiple pictures. We already know it's going to be a cover-up, but they still got a lot of files to release. And yeah, I love y'all, Gen Z. What's good? And the breaking news, of course, I'm here, y'all. I could have just left, but I'm here for y'all. I love y'all. It's not a podcast, man. It is a show. I will see y'all in the next one. Gen Z, what's up?